The Borsa Earnings Call app allows users free access to over 15,000 earnings calls from more than 2,100 publicly traded companies. For more, let's bring in the founder of the app, Hadi Yusuf. Hadi, it's great to have you. Welcome.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for having me on.
You know, it's something that seems so mundane, but I know everyone in our audience who has tried to listen to an earnings call knows how frustrating it is. You're trying to find these investor relations pages with a link that's buried somewhere. It's so complex. You want it to be the Spotify for earnings calls. How's it going so far?
Yeah, I mean, this all started, 5 years ago. I was in college at the time. I had some high school graduation money and wanted to invest. And I had always really been interested in learning about companies. What makes one company better than the other? Why does one company succeed while another one doesn't? So I would read news articles, maybe the random analyst report that I can find, and I would see references to an earnings call. At the time, I didn't really know what an earnings call was or had never really heard of it. But eventually, I kept seeing references to it enough to where I eventually found one and listened to one. And I immediately recognized the tremendous value that you have when you can listen to the voice and tone of a management team on an earnings call, and the world of a difference it makes when you're just trying to understand what a company is about. And so I set out for the past 3, 4, 5 years trying to make listening to earnings calls as easy as listening to a podcast. Around that time, 5 years ago, I had really gotten into podcasts. And so that was our goal, to make listening to earnings calls as easy as listening to a podcast.
And like I said, we are all grateful for it. I know Jim Cramer talks about it all the time. It's one of my personal favorite things, but it's really hard to do. So a big thank you from the investor community. Here's a key question, though, as we start to think about the growth and the effort that goes into this. How do you make money?
Yeah, I mean, that's a key question that I'm always wondering about. Our first goal was to test the notion that, do people want to listen to earnings calls? At the time, I thought, was I the only weirdo out there who wanted to listen to these things, or were these news articles enough? And so over the course of the past 3, 4, 5 years, I've been shadowing, interviewing, meeting with directors of investor relations departments, all about understanding how can we make their jobs easier. And what I learned was their whole notion is telling a narrative, telling a story about their stock. And anything we can do to deliver that message directly to the investors, and it's not just investors, by the way, it's employees, analysts, reporters, there's a whole slew of cohorts of people that want to listen to this stuff. And so working directly with the investor relations departments is a key partnership for us down the road.